It's funny because I never experienced any homophobia in my adult life. But this other day, a month ago, we were walking. This person comes to me and he goes, "Oh, oh, gay. Oh, you're holding a purse." And I was like,
it was a gym bag. Well, hopefully, again, if there are people out there watching this podcast, listening to me at this point, they know my name. But if not, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Gabriel, or Gabriel for Portuguese audience.
Yeah.
And today we have Brazil in the house.
Brazil's in the house.
Bem-vindo.
Thank you.
Iago.
Obrigado.
Obrigada.
Or Iago. Obrigada.
I love to say that. Every time I see a Brazilian, I go, Obrigada. And I get the look. Like,
You got the look.
We're so excited to have a Brazilian
Like I said
here.
before, this is my first podcast in English.
Yeah, amazing.
So-
Well, if you want, we can always speak in Portuguese.
Go back and
you can
forth.
sit and just
Yeah,
relax.
if you say some nasty. you can say
Right, we
Portuguese,
can talk about Tyler. A gente
Yeah,
pode
if you wanna
falar
talk
sobre
about
ele.
Tyler, yeah,
Ele
fala sobre ele em
nunca
português.
vai entender porque ele sabe só umas palavras.
Really?
Aham.
exactly.
The gag.
Yeah, usually I take the lead. I'm also very talkative. So usually I'm like the one who talks probably the most on the episode. But maybe
You know,
we'll
I'm
let- we'll let-
Brazilian. I'm shy. So
Yeah, Brazilians are
I
super
don't
shy.
talk
Wouldn't
very
you agree
much.
with that?
Excuse me.
Well, I'm from
think it's the
Minas.
opposite.
I'm from Minas Gerais. They say Minas.
Oh yeah,
Mineiro
the
come
people
quieto.
from Minas is come quieto.
Come quieto
They're-
means they
modest.
eat
They're nice, they're
quietly.
cute.
Where are you from?
I'm from Rio.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm the girl from Rio.
Yes.
Love that song.
You love that song?
Yes. You grew up in Rio.
I born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Oh, what neighborhood?
Well, there's a thing, guys.
Okay, let's explain to them.
So I say I was a girl from Rio, but I'm definitely not a girl from Ipanema.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
you know,
I
those
was,
are.
I was born and raised in the favelas of Rio de Janeiro.
Wow.
Yes, in a very, very poor neighborhood in Rio.
That's crazy.
So what is a
Didn't
favela?
look like that.
For people out there who don't know what a favela is, like how would you describe it?
Yeah, it's like a very poor area.
Yeah.
You know, like if you be in Rio de Janeiro, you see like those mountains, there was
Yes.
like a bunch of houses.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it feels like. People who doesn't have enough money to
Yeah,
afford like a nice place, a nice house. Not even sometimes enough money to buy food.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
So-
the
yeah.
history of favelas come way back in the day when, especially in Rio, when they were trying to modernize the city and they took people who, you know, had houses like in downtown. So they pushed those peoples away to
Yeah.
the mountains, you know, so the rich people could live
Pretty
in,
much.
in the middle of the city in like the flat areas. So then the poor people who couldn't afford, you know, homes, they had to live in places like, you know, the
Yeah.
cliffs where
And
it's
the cliffs,
dangerous.
yeah.
Right. So we call that gentrification here. So when like there's a area that maybe is mixed between all kind of classes and cultures, and then the rich people are like, hey, this is a good spot.
Yeah.
They start moving
So,
in and
yes.
push the lower income, citizens outside.
That's really sad.
So when you were growing up in the favela, did you have access? So I mean, I'm gonna ask a very ignorant question, but did you have access to education? Like, what
Oh,
is
I
what is that?
did.
What is that like?
So I was grew up in the favelas,
Sure.
in the ghetto. Like I think
Yeah.
you're gonna understand, like in the
Yeah.
middle of the ghetto. But I mean, I always have a food.
Yeah.
Good.
On home, I like education, but never went to the private school, for example.
Wow.
So I never had opportunity to study in English as
Wow.
well. Yeah.
Wow. So when did you start speaking English?
When I moved to America,
Oh,
literally, that
my
was
God.
like I always say I learned English like a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are gonna notice a couple of things. So don't judge me, people.
Are you kidding? Your English is
Your English is
perfect.
great. When we
That's
first met, he has
crazy.
a similar story,
Yeah,
right?
very similar. I moved here when I was 20 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I did know English from movies, music, but I didn't speak English. So I came here. I did not know how to speak. So I understood, but I couldn't hold a conversation. So
Same.
it took me a while. It took me like years for me to even be confident about my speech, and then even being in a podcast, it took me like even longer because even sitting here, I was very insecure and shy about my accent, the words that I was saying, if I was saying the wrong thing. So it's hard,
Oh,
but
I still feeling that sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, what should I say?
yeah,
I pushed him a lot for sure. I was like, listen, we at 2 a.m. when we're like gabbing back and forth, and he's just going louder than me, faster than me, speaking English. I'm like, you just need to channel that here. Like it's the same, it's all in your head. But and
I'm
for me,
shy. These cameras
Yeah.
make me nervous.
Just forget. I totally forgot that we have camera in
see,
here.
see,
I was like,
the
just look at
secret.
you two guys. I'm like,
And we try to make it like, relaxed and comfy.
Yeah.
But it's funny, when I met him, because I'm from Florida, there's a large community of Latin people that live in Florida.
yeah.
And some people who were born in Florida have Latin family members and have an accent. So they've only lived in Florida or the United States, but as they've grown, because of the influence of their family, they have an accent.
Yeah.
So when I met him, I assumed he knew English forever. It's just he had an accent. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, I just started
And
learning
you thought it
now.
was cute.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, oh,
that's sexy.
People say that, right? But us that have the
we
accent,
think it's
we
terrible.
don't
It's
think
like,
it's-
oh my God,
yeah.
no.
No.
So you were taking dance class. When did you
Before
start?
12. So I started dancing. I mean, this is kind of like cliche. It's kind of
yeah.
like stupid.
No.
But I always danced since I was 5. No,
Yeah.
no, people always say that, but that's not true. I danced since I was 3.
Yeah, right.
No,
I
that's
came out
not
the
my
womb
life.
just like ta dancing.
No.
No.
I actually, there's a little drama now. I only started dancing after my dad passed away.
Oh no.
And I was
sorry.
A.
I
Yes.
see.
Oh, very young.
Yeah. But I always danced with my mom. My mom used to take like a ballroom classes.
Wow.
What? That's a
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, she's not a dancer, not even close to be a professional
But
dancer.
Anyone can take
Still.
But she
classes.
always loved it. And my grandma,
Yeah.
loved to take those classes. I mean, seresta.
yeah.
This ballroom. It's type of
Yeah.
dance.
Wow.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so she always like she loved to go to those classes. And she always make me because there's anyone to look over me when I was
Sure.
home. And I was
Sure.
like dance with those grandmas, with the old people.
Amazing. Yeah, but you got
Yeah.
your start. And what a great opportunity for you to just kind of
That's
absorb.
how I start kind of dancing.
I see.
And then after my dad passed away, there's a ballet classes on my school
Sure.
because I was in a public school.
Wow.
And then Rio, they used to have this kind of a project that, just motivated kids with like
Yes.
sports,
Yeah, sure.
dance,
Extracurriculars.
for free. And I asked
Wow.
my mom, do you think I take those
Yeah.
ballet class? And she's like, absolutely not.
Oh.
Because like
Oh.
ballet's for girls.
Right.
Usually there's soccer, go play
Ugh.
soccer. So I'm like, okay, mom, I want to do soccer game and tennis. So I was doing soccer game and then doing ballet behind her back.
Good for you.
That's
I know.
incredible.
And I was like, A.
You got to do both.
And
That
two,
is amazing.
Because here's the thing, I was wearing the school, so if I take another class, someone would notice. So
Right.
they don't need the kind of the permission of my mom because I was
Already
already
there.
there. She already
Yeah.
signed up the papers.
Right.
Yeah, so I started doing ballet until she find out because I had a show performance, whatever.
Sure.
And then she had to sign another document because I was like 8 years old.
So you were doing ballet dances, so
Yeah.
you were like good, and then you had a performance. And
Yeah,
she
I had a
found out.
performance. Yeah, and then she find out because I need my mom to sign the
So
paper,
how did that day
authorization.
go? I mean, how did that experience go when you're like, all right, I have this paper. I'm
And it's
8
like,
years
oh my
old.
God. And I
How
was
do
like,
I-
Mom, I think I'm doing dancing.
I think I'm doing
And then
dancing
she's like,
today.
okay, what kind of dance? I mean, dance was fine for her
Sure.
because she knew that I was dancing. I was performing in front of the TV
Right.
every day with a Pussycat doll. So she's like, he loved to dance.
Sure.
That's obviously.
Yeah.
Dancer was fine. Ballet, no.
Wow,
Gotcha.
that was
ballet
the
was a
limit.
big deal.
But did that make you kind of like it even more? Because
Yes.
For sure.
And also, okay, I'm a Leo.
I
So,
see.
we love the attention.
Uh-huh.
And there's no man. There's no man in the ballet class.
I
was like,
see.
I'm
You're
going to
the
be
star.
the only one.
Good
This is
for
a
you.
lesson to parents. If you tell your kids no and something that they love to do, they're only going to want to do it more. So just
Exactly.
say yes.
Just say yes.
Everything that is forbidden is better.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're going to be just fine. Trust me.
Did your
Yeah.
mom come to that performance?
So she actually came to the performance.
Did she enjoy it?
She enjoyed it. She actually like, hey, actually, you got
Oh,
some
wow.
skills. I think you're good.
So,
So she after that, and then like she let me do ballet.
Amazing.
Also, it was much easier. She's a mom. Mom is always easy to
Right.
convince.
Yes.
If it was my dad, no.
Yeah.
It was like
Football. I mean, soccer.
football. Yeah,
Right.
my dad. No, like
yeah. My dad was really good at soccer, and I think there was this expectations that I was going to follow my dad's steps, but I never play soccer. I never.
I mean,
yeah.
I was like, we kind of should play soccer.
Yeah.
Do
I
you play
mean,
soccer?
Actually, did.
Yeah.
I'm doing really good.
now?
Yeah.
Wow,
Sometimes.
you should teach us.
Yeah, we would love to play with you
Yeah.
sometime.
Yeah, I love playing
We-
soccer.
we were talking about it.
I have a skateboard.
Look at you now.
all the
Cool.
straight things I
See?
do.
You can
but
do
also do
anything.
ballet.
See?
Yeah.
You don't have to limit yourself.
Exactly.
But that's what the thing. It's funny. People like to put us in a box so quickly, even whether it's your career or like what you like to do for fun. And then as we
Yes.
get older, they want to solidify that box to where they're like, you're learning soccer now, you're 35 or you're 30 or you're 25.
Oh yeah, there's no
Anytime.
age.
You can do whatever you want.
You guys can
but
take ballet class as well.
we would love
Yes.
that.
Sometimes I teach like adult class. I do like open classes and some bunch of adult.
Wait, can we learn ballet now
Yeah.
as an adult?
No way.
Yeah, there's some people like 45, 50 years old like taking ballet class.
We're
my God.
down.
Can
We
you
will
teach us?
Yeah, we
definitely-
should do it. That's gonna
Can
be
you
so
teach-
fun.
I would love that.
We
We're
actually-
trying to do
yeah.
as
Yeah,
many
let's
like
do like a
artistic
ballet,
things as we can.
ballet lesson. That would be iconic.
So after your mom found out that you were doing ballet, did she know you were gay?
I mean, there's
By
a thing.
default?
She always knew that was gay.
Right.
Oh.
You were
Shall we
dancing
do?
to Pussycat Dolls. So
Yeah,
that's-
period. Come on. Yes. There's a thing. Oh my God. In my family, it's just me and my brother. I have a one sibling.
Oh.
And guess what?
He's gay.
He's gay too.
It's in the blood.
He is the gay. So
That's crazy.
there's a thing. Like she kind of like knew my brother was gay. He's like
See.
his water
Is he
queen.
older or
He's a water queen. No shade. so yeah, he's older than me. He's like 3 years older than me.
Gotcha.
So she was like, he's gay.
He's
Like,
gay.
okay, I'm gonna have to deal with that.
Right.
And then I said I was when I do ballet. She was like,
That's why she was resistant
Yeah.
for
It's like
you.
she was
not
really
both
sad.
of them.
yeah, both, really. Oh, Mom, you're blessed. Look at you, Mom.
No, I mean that's what I would assume, but
Yeah.
I'm sure she feels that way now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Does your brother live in the United
My
States
whole
too?
family is here in Rio.
Nice. Well, that's great.
Yeah. My brother's in college right now.
Cool.
Became a doctor.
Wow.
No way.
Cool.
We'll have to connect
He's
with him.
very intelligent. He's genius. Different than me. I work with the arts, I
You're
like the
still-
glamours. I like to be on stage.
You can be.
You guys like different things.
yeah, but
Yes.
still both
Yeah.
geniuses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after your mom had already come to the conclusion that you were gay, did you ever have to have that discussion with her?
Yeah.
So
or
I never actually told my mom that I
See.
was.
So this moment
gay.
she doesn't know yet. She's gonna.
I
Find
mean, she knows.
She's gonna
She
find
asked
out
me,
on this
are you
podcast.
dating this guy? She like, there's a thing. I feel
Right.
like we don't need a conversation.
100%.
Like, I told my mom, hey,
Yeah.
Mom, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
No.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Like,
I mean,
exactly. That's how it should be. But
Yeah.
I know I'm not
Right.
stupid. I know
Yeah.
that's not, that
Right.
didn't work.
Mhm.
and that's, we really sometimes we'll get things like, oh, why are you always harping on people's coming out stories? And I'm like, well, we talk about coming out stories because that's literally what we have to do, the majority of us in
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
experience. And so ideally there would be no coming out story. That's the whole point
Yeah,
of
that's
this
the whole
podcast.
point,
Like we want to get to that place, but in the meantime, kids are still scared to
Yeah.
come out and still having these conversations that are terrifying.
Uh-huh.
But I'm glad that, and I still to this day actually haven't had like that conversation with my dad either. My
But
mom
he knows.
Your mom
know.
knows.
But
But
they
your
all
dad
know.
knows.
They all know.
as
They
well.
met him, and everyone
Yeah,
knows.
your
I
dad
mean, they've seen this
knows. Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
They've seen me.
What about your family?
Well, I came out to my mom when I was 18, 17. I was in high school. I was dating a guy, and I came to her, and I was like, I was so tired of lying to her. I was all the time I was saying that I was hanging out with this guy, and it was just a long lie, and I just decided to tell her that I was gay, and it was rough for her like first month, but after that she became my best friend. Even the other day she said, I'm so glad you're gay because I don't think I would have handled to have a straight son.
Oh my God. She's amazing.
She is amazing. Yeah.
And she's been an incredible sort of part of our relationship
Mm-hmm.
too. She supports us a lot. We spend a lot of time with her, and we don't speak the same language because she speaks Portuguese.
But
and-
she's speaking English now or
But,
no?
well, she's learned a
Little bit.
lot.
Yeah.
Like she can certainly understand everything that I say. But we still kind of like understand each other in our
What
own
about
little
you?
way.
When you gonna learn Portuguese?
Yeah, it's a great
Good question. Quando você vai aprender a falar português? Que a gente
Quando
tá
você vai
esperando.
aprender?
Ele fala que vai
ai,
aprender.
Tá na hora.
Tá
Come on.
passando
Right
da
now,
hora.
I would love to
Yeah.
learn. I've tried Duolingo. I've tried a lot of different
Duolingo.
options.
Not a
What would you
Duolingo.
like me to do? Let's ask him.
Do you know what you need to do? You need to like at home just start speaking with
I've
any
told him
Portuguese.
that.
I
I've
should.
said that to
It's
him.
funny because I've been here for 9 years, and sometimes I forget Portuguese words because the only person that I talk in Portuguese
It's with
with is
your
my
mom.
mom.
Right.
So I need to speak more Portuguese.
Ideally, my goal is we're gonna spend at least a year at some point in Brazil.
Yeah,
live there,
I want to live in
and
Brazil.
like really
temporarily.
submerged. Because I've taken 6 years of Spanish, and I can
Do you
barely
speak Spanish or
barely.
español?
No, no.
No habla español también.
No hablo
I mean, I
español.
can understand what you're saying, but I couldn't respond to you. So
Wait, there's something.
there's something I can
That's
get
how
around.
I started. though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I feel like I would be a better learner in a more like submersive environment where I
Yeah.
have to speak the language.
For
So I'm
sure.
hoping that we get to do that in the near future.
Yeah, because also in Brazil, people don't speak English at all.
Yeah.
Right. So I'd be forced to.
You
Which
gotta
is
exactly.
the
Yeah,
environment
that's
that
what
I
pretty
need.
much what happened with me.
Were you exposed to much American culture growing up? Like, was that a part of? Because you
Yes.
mentioned you
Yeah.
grew up
watching
lis-
movies.
I grew up
listening
watching
to
movie,
a
but
lot of
never
music.
like. So like move to America, it's
Yeah.
like something that would never happen. In my,
Wow.
you know, like I
Yeah.
said before, like I grew up
Impossible.
like in the ghetto. It's something possible. Like no, I used to tell my mom, I'm gonna live in America. I'm gonna dance in a professional ballet company. She's like, wake up. You're not.
Yeah.
This is not gonna happen.
It's not reality.
We're poor.
Yeah.
Like my mom used to selling fruits in the street all
Wow.
day. You know, walking for like.
hours.
I don't know, hours, like
Wow.
miles and miles, you know,
Crazy.
to buy ballet shoes for me.
That's crazy.
That was our reality, yeah.
Look at you now. She must be so
Yeah.
proud.
I know, she's so proud now.
Aw.
I was like, see, you're wrong.
So you already knew that you wanted this to happen. You didn't necessarily know how it was going to happen.
I don't
but
know how it's going to happen.
Do you know what age you were around? Like, was this?
I was 13.
So you were early, like.
Because
I
at the ballet
know.
school that I come from, they were really good. And my teachers say, you have a talent. I see a future
Wow.
for you.
Wow.
She had a really, like a big conversation with me, like a serious conversation. That's what you want? I was like, yes, that's the one. I want to go there. And she said, okay, we're going to make you ready. We're going to do everything for you.
Wow.
Yeah, they support me, like,
So
financially. They used to buy my
Amazing.
shoes. The girls that used to dance when I was a kid, their moms used to support me.
Aw.
Pay my lunch and the rehearsals, things like that.
Incredible.
I mean, you have great charisma and you're very talented, so it wasn't
Make
very difficult for them.
nerves.
So how did you get the first gig in the U.S.? Like, how did you?
So yeah, so
how'd you
there
get
it
over
happened.
here?
I was in this professional dance school,
Yeah.
and then I like done like thousand like international competitions.
Wow.
Like
yeah, I went to
where?
the Argentina twice when I was 12.
That's crazy.
13 or 14, I don't remember exactly. I mean, I'm feeling older right now. Yeah,
Well,
so
you're
when-
only 17
yeah.
now.
No, I'm only 17.
Only 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm 28. So I'm
You're
done.
still
yeah,
very young.
Yeah, very young.
That's great.
So yeah, I went to international competition. Was young by myself.
Ooh.
So I was
Globetrotting.
consistently like competing.
Wow.
Wow.
And then there's like auditions. Like sometimes I audition in my studio, or like in a different studio in Rio for like summer intensive. I don't know if you heard about it. So yeah, about summer intensive. So
Yeah,
like
I've heard of
yeah,
them. Yeah.
like a summer intensive. It's like the biggest ballet companies in the world. They have like professional schools.
Wow.
So they have like a little summer intensive, like different student like across the world came to, just study
Sure.
with them for like
Yeah.
5 weeks.
Right. Show off it, what you
Show
know.
off.
and
Oh, I
learn
like
new
you. I
things.
don't like you. Pretty much like that.
Right.
So I auditioned for Miami City Ballet School,
What year was this?
2013.
So you were 6 years old.
I was 6 years old. I was baby.
Yeah. How old were you then?
That was my first performance. I'm joking.
Right.
When I told you, my mom, she came to Miami. So
Right.
Yeah.
So 2013, you were,
I was 15. I think I was 15.
Wow.
I don't know.
and you were applying for the.
For the summer intensive.
In
yeah.
Miami.
And in Miami City Ballet in Florida. Wow. Florida. Yeah, so I got a full scholarship. That was amazing
What?
because my family was poor, so we can afford for the 5 weeks of the
Great.
workshop. Yes,
And you
Wild.
spoke no English.
not at all, nothing. But it's Miami.
Sure.
Like
You'll be fine.
Yes.
99% of people are Brazilian. I know,
Yeah.
it's pretty much like that.
True. True.
So I got a full scholarship. They pay for for dorms, for the hotel, for food, everything. The only thing I have to pay was for the flight.
I see.
So the whole parents and the school that I was taking class in my school in Brazil, they like, okay, let's support him. So they, gave me money to buy my flight.
That's
So
wild.
sweet.
Yes.
Because it can be very expensive, even like
It's
a
very
ticket.
expensive, yeah.
sure.
Brazilians.
Especially back that day, it's like
Yeah.
10, 12, 13 years old.
And the conversion too, if you're paying
Yeah.
in reais, is very expensive.
That's wild. I mean,
And also we're selling brigadeiros. You know brigadeiro?
Of
I
course.
was selling brigadeiros in
Love
the
brigadeiros.
studio, in the ballet.
gosh, his mom makes really good.
Yeah,
sweet
my mom
s-
makes a lot of Brazilian food,
cakes.
so
Oh, I love it.
coxinhas, pão de
Coxinha,
queijo,
pão de queijo.
feijoada,
Oh my
farofa,
gosh.
Carbs.
Pão de
Carbs.
queijo for me is the best. Doce de leite, carbs. We love carbs.
We love carbs.
So good.
Mm.
But
I'm hungry
Yeah,
now.
so I came in for the first year. I was 15. I stayed for 5 months. That was my dream. I was like, oh my God, it's a dream come true. I'm in America.
crazy. 5 weeks or 5 months?
For 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
And I didn't stay for the first year because my mom said, like, no, you cannot stay. You're like 15. You need to finish school
Right,
first.
right.
Like, that's no way.
That's good.
I'm not going to let you go without finishing school.
I mean, at 15, staying in Miami, you could get in some trouble. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I certainly was getting in trouble.
Yeah, but actually, I was so, like, until my 21, I think it was my 20 or 21. My life is just about ballet.
Sure.
It was
Yeah,
like 24 hours a
focused.
day.
Wow. So
Not even drink. My first cocktail was like 19, 20.
Wow. And it's 18 to drink in
In Brazil,
And
yeah.
you were having your first cocktail
Yeah, I was
way
drinking
earlier.
since I was 14. I'm from Minas, so
Oh,
Minas we
I'm
start
from
early.
Rio.
I think I had my first alcoholic beverage when I was 14 as well.
14.
Yeah, but I started really leaning into that like 17, 18, 19 was my party years. So you come to America, 15. What was your favorite thing of being here? Did you get to go to like McDonald's?
Oh,
Did you
the
get to
McDonald's
go-
was not that great here.
I know.
We got the best
Right?
McDonald's in Brazil.
That's right.
It's a thing.
He's
It's
told
a
me.
thing. It's really hard to explain to people, Americans, that McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, they are amazing in Brazil.
Yeah,
They
it's
taste
like
completely
you go
different.
to date on McDonald's.
Yeah, it's fancy. If you
Well-
want to go to a fancy date to someone, you take them
you
to
go
McDonald's.
Period.
Anytime we travel internationally, though, it's pretty similar to that. And I think it's because Americans will eat at McDonald's whether it's the dirtiest place on the planet or not.
Yeah.
You know, we don't really care. We're going there because we know we're going to get. So McDonald's quality doesn't have to be, as long as it's consistent, it doesn't need to be elevated. But if you go somewhere like in Japan and we go to McDonald's, I'm like,
Oh my
this
God.
is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's
Literally in Brazil, I think you have more than like 20 options
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
of burgers.
You
It's
know,
insane.
you can really have it your way in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get from Miami
To San Diego.
to San Diego?
Yeah. I only went to Miami for 5 months.
Right. So you had
And
to go
then I
back.
stayed for a year. I wouldn't have to come back. My mom was like, absolutely not.
Finish school.
Finish
Finish school, girl.
Education.
So the year later, the year after, I went back to Miami because I ended up auditioning again. Because I'm like, no, I want to stay here.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Good for
audition
you.
again for their summer
I'm
intensive.
gonna go back.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. And I got again the full scholarship. I'm like,
Oh.
Work.
They should just put your name on the building.
yeah, please do
Iago.
it. Iago. I survived.
Yeah.
And then they end up offering me for the stay there for the year for the school.
Wow. So your mom said, "All right, you're 16. You can
16
stay."
in the middle of Miami, no money, no family.
Oh, Iggy
You know that song?
Yeah, we know that song.
Yeah.
So good, by the way.
Yeah.
We
Wow,
love that
that's your
song.
life. You wrote that song, huh?
No money, no family.
16 in the middle of Miami.
Yes.
Yeah, we do sing that a lot. It's a good
And
gym
I've
song.
stayed in Miami for 3 years.
So what was that like, though? I mean, that's a lot of freedom.
A lot of freedom.
for being so young.
That's when it literally came out as a gay.
Yeah.
Because I don't have my mom here. I
Yeah.
don't have anyone else. Because even though my mom was okay, but she
Yeah.
was not okay with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get you.
Like a couple years later,
Yeah.
I realized why I never had a conversation with my mom.
Yeah.
Like, hey mom, I'm gay.
Yeah.
Because I got a little traumatized because of my brother. I remember when my brother came out of the closet and she cried a lot,
Wow.
a lot. And that was like, oh my God, if I say something to my mom
Right.
gonna die.
Yeah.
Because
Explode.
she's
Yeah.
gonna explode. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
I don't want
lose
that
my
for
mom.
her. Right.
Isn't it funny how sometimes when we're kids and we go to our
Yeah.
parents and we tell them something that we're scared about or traumatized about, hoping that they're going to look at us and say everything is okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes they freak out.
Yeah.
They freak it out. I was supposed to
Yeah.
one to I was
Right.
supposed to
You're
freak out.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to handle this. So if you can't handle it and I can't handle it, who can handle it?
Yeah. Because, to be, quite honest, when I was a kid, I didn't want to be gay.
No one
No
does.
one.
No
wants
one
to be
does to be
gay.
gay.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
A lot
not
of
good.
bullying,
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
good representation.
not good representation. It's not a good thing. That's what I thought.
Especially
be
back
gay.
then too.
Yeah,
Now
back
with
then,
the internet,
yeah.
it's better.
Now
but
it's
still,
different, but
It's still tough, though. I mean, especially in some of those rural or, Midwestern states. it's could be almost worse in some areas than in the past now. And so it's wild. But that's again why we want to, highlight these queer voices and give examples of people going through different things, because there's somebody out there, some kid who's maybe going to stumble across a YouTube video and say, oh, this person sounds like me or has a similar journey, and look where they got now.
I can totally relate to your story when it comes to coming out later, only when you moved from, your city. For me, it was the same thing. I only came out when I moved out of my country, when I left Brazil, because I was away from my friends and my family. I was then finally able to be myself and just be, not worry about how I was gonna say things, especially because I was not speaking Portuguese, so it was almost like I had to learn a different language. I had to like be a different person. So for me, it was like that moment that I got to be myself, Gabriel.
Yeah, but it's actually yourself. You're definitely not a different person.
Because I didn't care anymore, right? I was not around.
It was just you.
We all need that time to separate from the environment that makes us uncomfortable so we can build confidence in who we really are. When I was 15 or 16, I had a friend who moved to Orlando, which is about 2 hours from my hometown. And so I would escape there on the weekends, and I realized that I could sneak into bars and be around other gay people in Orlando. So I was able to like cultivate this new life, Saturday and Sunday, and then during the week I'd come back home and go to school. Life. So I'd be like
the little double life.
Yeah, I'd be in like Christian school, Monday through Friday, and then going into the gay bar Saturday and Sunday. And
my God, I go to hell.
Oh, for sure. But it's going to be a blast. So I'm inviting everyone to join me there.
You're going to go to hell.
Right. So literally that's what they were telling me.
That's why they usually just say, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all the time.
Which is like...
But that was the thing. I was able to like build confidence in this, while still in this environment that was really trying to repress me from doing so. And so by the time I was like 17 or 18, I was like, okay, I am like stir crazy. Get me out of this, insane asylum. I want to be myself. And because I was cultivating this different life at 17, 18, I started to really separate how I thought about my parents too. Like, I mean, this is why I think it's a little easier for me. And I don't want to say it's easy at all, but for me to like step away from them is because since I was like 6 or 7, I've been planning my escape. Like I've been planning, like, how do I get out of this environment where I'm not wanted?
Totally,
I'm not... For me, I'm not like, who I am inside is not welcome here. So that stuff, you start to pick up on it when you're a kid.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I was already, it's funny, I talk about my cousins, we used to play Barbies, and my Barbie always lived in a van. All her shit was in a van. And she could, if anything happened to my Barbie, she could just load up the van and head out. Yeah, and I still like sometimes feel that like urge to feel free enough.
So Orlando was your van.
Yeah. It was my van. We took the van to Orlando. Exactly.
You took a van to Orlando.
Barbie van.
Barbie van.
But isn't it funny? That's something we all gay experience and something that we have in common. Me, him, and we all have this in common, of this need of leave our hometown and do something else with our lives because we want to escape.
Yeah. And so
pretty much
it pushes us to do like we always said, and we talk about multiple times in the past, it pushes us to do things that are maybe outside of our comfort zone because we're not comfortable in where we're supposed to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Our comfort zone is not
ridiculous.
comfy. So 16, living in Miami.
Living in Miami for 3 years. That was great.
So you turn 19 and you're like, all right, I know everything about Miami.
I need a fake ID.
Right. Still.
Yeah, I think I need a fake ID. You're joking. So after Miami, graduated into school in Miami City Ballet School, I ended up got a contract with the Atlanta Ballet. That's when I finally dance profession in America.
Wow.
That's amazing.
What was your experience like? Did you enjoy the production and like living and working in Atlanta where you're like, this is temporary?
Definitely, temporary. I mean, like the first day step, but step in the studio, I was like, this is not for me.
How long were you there?
For a year. For like one season, which is 9 months or something.
So you already like got there. You're like, all right, I need to plan to get out of here.
Yeah, but it was very important for me to, get my first job, my first contract, because my mom told me like, hey, if you don't got a job, you gotta go back home. I'm like, I can definitely not go back home. There's no way.
So you got a job?
No way. If I go home, I'm gonna have to be straight.
Right.
We're not doing that.
No, because she doesn't care. But
I get what you mean.
Sort of, yeah. So I got on my first contract. That was great. I mean, it's a big company, but
wasn't home.
It wasn't home, exactly.
So what was your plan? Were you gonna find a contract after that one? Were you gonna teach? What did you want to do?
So I was like, I'm gonna stay for a year, and I'm gonna try to take as much as I can of this company, like make contacts and see where it goes. So after like 5 or 6 months, I kind of like I knew it. I'm not gonna stay there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't stay there. So I started audition again.
Again. It's like life is a constant audition.
Auditioning. I'm like, oh gosh, let's do this again. So audition everywhere. I went to North Carolina. I got a job in North Carolina in Carolina Ballet.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went to North Carolina, auditioned in Philadelphia Ballet. I was like everywhere.
Yeah.
To find a job. And I ended up got a contract for Carolina Ballet and the City Ballet of San Diego, which is now that I'm dancing.
Right. So you took that opportunity.
Yeah, I was like, oh, San Diego. I mean, California.
West Coast. Yeah.
North Carolina. I mean, I'm like, maybe. Yeah. But I never had a dream to move to California. That was never
It just
a thing.
happened.
It just happened.
Yeah. I thought I was going to live in New York,
Right.
Miami.
Well, it's still possible.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot believe how fast this hour goes, but it literally is.
Really?
They're cutting us
Yeah.
off.
Oh my God, no.
I'm so
We
glad
could
you
talk it
came.
forever.
Yeah,
We need
that
to have
was
you
a pleasure.
back.
Yeah,
Where
please.
can people find you and see you? Can they come
on
to
my,
the...
on my Instagram.
Uh-huh.
You can find me on my Instagram. You're gonna see all my performance there.
Yay.
The
We're going to come
schedule.
see you.
You better.
We will.
I need to have a show here in LA.
We will.
It'll
Yes.
be much easier for you.
Yes.
Even if not, we'll make a trip. We'll
Come
see
to
you.
San Diego. It's
And
a gorgeous city.
We're gonna do private lessons with you as well.
Yes.
Yes, let's make that happen.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. again.
Obrigada.
Obrigada.
Obrigado a você.
Prazer o meu.
It's my